Hey everybody, today I want to share something that can completely shift how you approach personal growth. It's called the cycle of change. And if you've ever felt stuck or frustrated, or you keep starting over, this will help you understand why change can feel so hard and what you can do to make it feel easier. One of the biggest mistakes we make is thinking that change is a straight line from I want to change to I've changed. But in reality, change happens in stages, and we often cycle through them multiple times before real lasting change happens. So let's walk through these stages together, and I'll share how you can move through them in a way that feels natural, sustainable, and without guilt. So this is the change cycle. And we start off with number one. This is the pre-contemplation stage. This is where you say to yourself, I don't see a problem. This is where other people tell you you have a problem, but you actually don't see the problem. And it isn't until something happens that you realize, whoa, I have a problem. So the mindset reframe here is not seeing the problem. It doesn't mean that you're a failure, but it means that you haven't had the correct insight yet. So a few years ago, I was feeling constantly overwhelmed and exhausted and feeling really disconnected from myself. But if you'd asked me then, I would have said, oh, I'm fine. It's just life, right? I didn't even recognize that I was burnt out. I thought that being tired all the time just came with the territory. So if you can relate to this story, this is how you move forwards. If you're in this stage, you can start with just simple awareness. If you're feeling off and you feel like, oh, I just don't feel right, I'm tired, but how can I change? This is just life, right? Try journaling or simply just paying attention to your emotions throughout the day. Ask yourself reflective questions. Is this what I want to feel? Is this how I want my life to be like? And what parts of my life am I avoiding? And where do I not want to look? The key takeaway here is you cannot change something that you don't acknowledge. The goal here isn't to force change, it's to gently become aware of what is not working. So stage 2 of the cycle of change, this is the contemplation stage. This is where you're thinking, I know I need to change, I just don't know how. The mindset reframe here is feeling stuck means you're processing what's going on in your life. And it's part of the journey. It's not a failure. So for example, I remember one day I was talking to a friend and I finally admitted, I don't like where my life is right now. And I remember just feeling this huge emotion. It was a huge moment for me because it meant that I had started to realize that something needed to shift. But at the same time, I felt stuck. I didn't know where to start. I used to think I'd want to feel better, but I have no energy, I have no time, and I didn't even know what I need help with. So if you feel like this is how to move forward. Exploring possibilities is your stage here instead of just forcing action. Research, ask other people, look at other people, read books, watch YouTube videos, do what you need to do to just have a look at what other people are doing and learn about what might help in this stage. Reframing your mind and your thoughts to, I don't know where to start, into I'm exploring what's possible for me. And really, you're going to start taking small reflective actions, even just stuff like saying aloud, like I want things to be different. That's progress, and that's making little steps in your mindset before you actually make a big change in your life. So the key takeaway here is in this stage, you don't have to have all the answers right now, and you don't have to actually be starting to make changes just yet. You just have to acknowledge that you want something to change. Okay, so stage 3 here of the cycle is preparation. This is where you're thinking, oh, I'm getting ready to make a big change. The mindset reframe here is small steps lead to big transformations. And in this stage, we are focusing on consistency, not perfection. When I first realized I needed more time for myself, I told myself I need to completely restructure my life and I have to find a perfect self-care routine. But guess what? That overwhelmed me. I didn't do anything about it. It was just too much. What actually worked when I finally got round to the stage was just starting small. I decided to take just 5 minutes every day to check in with myself. And that one habit led to bigger changes over time. So if you find yourself in this prep stage, if you find yourself wanting to go to the gym, not really there yet, perhaps you've bought the gym membership but you haven't started. Perhaps you went and bought amazing gym clothes but you haven't started doing anything. Recognize that you are in this prep stage and that's beautiful. Setting a tiny, manageable intentions is everything. And if you start off with saying things like, okay, I'm going to exercise every day, instead of saying I'm going to have to do a whole workout, just go, okay, I'm going to start with just putting on my shoes. After you put your shoes, you can then go, okay, maybe I'll go for a 5-minute walk. Or maybe I'll just show up to the gym. I'll get in my car. I'll park in their parking lot. And so you put your gym clothes on, you go out in the car, you drove all the way to the gym, and you're actually there. That could be all you need for that stage. And that's okay because it was better than not being there in the first place. So it's all about those small stages that you take. I want you at the stage to shift your mindset from I have to change everything to, okay, what's one thing I can do today that adds on and is better than what I did yesterday. So prepare your environment for success. If your goal is to journal more, keep that notebook next to your bed so that when you see it, you can maybe grab that pencil or that pen and start journaling. Just prep yourself. It makes making changes so much easier. So the key takeaway here is you don't need to have a perfect plan. Just take one small, clear step forward. So step number 4 in the cycle of change is taking action. And this is where you're thinking, oh, wow, I'm actively changing. The mindset reframe here is progress isn't about never slipping. It's about choosing to keep going. So I'll give you an example. One of my clients set an intention to wake up 30 minutes earlier for self-care. She did great for a week and then had a stressful night. And then the next day she hit snooze. The next day she hit snooze. The day after that she hit snooze. So 3 days in a row, she didn't get up for that extra 30 minutes. She said she felt like she failed, but in reality, she was still in that taking action stage. So all she needed to do was just adjust, not give up. So how to move forward when you're in this action stage is all about tracking progress and celebrating your small wins. Even if you did something like only 3 times this week, it's still 3 times more than before. Reframe setbacks in your mind as learning moments. You didn't fail, you just got a little bit more information and now you're prepared for next time. And finally, finding accountability helps. Tell a friend, join a group, write it down, announce it on your Facebook. Just finding accountability really helps keep you up to your goal. So the key takeaway here is doing something inconsistently is better than not doing it at all. So you just have to keep showing up. All right, so stage 5 of the change cycle is the maintenance phase. So you've started a new habit, you're really happy with where you are, you got the results, now the stage is maintaining it. You got to reinforce your habits. The mindset reframe here is sustainable change comes from making adjustments and not chasing perfection. An example here is I used to think that once I created a new habit, it would just stick. But real change requires ongoing intention and commitment. I realized I needed to keep checking in with myself regularly to stay on track. I had to keep reminding myself, why am I doing this again? What's my goal here? How is this making my life better? So when you actually self-check and you ask yourself, am I still making time for me, for self-care? What's working? What's not working? Adjust, adjust, adjust. So yeah, if you find yourself in the stage, adjust as needed. If something isn't working, tweak it until it does work instead of quitting. Check in with yourself often. Set reminders to reflect on your progress. And finally, celebrate those wins. Even maintaining change for a few weeks is worth celebrating. Your key takeaway here is long-term change isn't about doing things perfectly. It's about doing them in a way that works for you. Once you've got that amazing habit, your life's changed, you're maintaining it, wow, everything's great. So a lot of people think, right, this is my new normal, all is good. And then, boom, you slip into an old habit. It could be a lapse, which is, one day you didn't do your exercise. And then all of a sudden, it's not one day, it's now not 2 days, it's now 3 days, you haven't been to the gym for a week. The mindset reframe here is relapse isn't failure, it's feedback. So I remember I joined this boutique training gym and I did a 12-week program, 3 months, got my goals, was in the best shape of my life. I was hitting the weights hard. I was there training 6 days a week. I did everything I needed to get that goal. Fabulous. As soon as that 12 weeks finished, I didn't want to see a gym again. I was exhausted. My joints hurt. My bones hurt. I didn't have any time for journaling or reading, or I was just totally exhausted. And yeah, I missed doing yoga. I missed spinning. I didn't just want to do circuit and weights and AMRAPs forever. I just realized that I had made a goal and I wanted to reach it by any means, and that I was actually hurting my body, or I was doing something that I didn't love. And so, yeah, I did not go back. So my mindset changed from there. The feedback that I gave myself was, okay, great. I have to enjoy my life. I have to enjoy exercise if I'm going to keep my body healthy for myself and for my future. So, yeah, a relapse is not failure. It's feedback. It's about what didn't work for you and making it work for you. And yeah, the question that you ask yourself is, what's triggered this? How can I adjust? So how you move forward is to be kind to yourself. And slipping up means that you're human. Identify what causes the relapse. Was it stress? Was it a lack of support? Was it burnout? In my case, I missed other things. I made my goal my be-all and end-all, that I used other means that I didn't enjoy to get my goal. And although my goal was to get to a certain body size, a certain body fat percentage, and a certain weight, I realized that I wasn't doing the yoga, the flexibility, the stretching, which I love. I love spinning, I love biking. So it was just more information to incorporate the things I love so I can enjoy them, so I can wake up in the morning and go, yes, it's spinning day. So that was, for me, that was the feedback, that I needed to introduce that in my life and choose that avenue instead of just circuit training, AMRAPs. And then, yeah, once you've relapsed, you don't necessarily need to start the cycle all over again. You could just get the information, have a reflection, do the prep that you need to do. You can join any part of that cycle and get right back in there, because you've already done all that. The greatest thing is you've already started that reflective, that prep stage. You've gotten into action. You've got evidence that you can do this. So you're already quite confident in your abilities. And with that reframe of, I can do anything. I've done this before. I can do this. It really supports you to go for your goals, go for your dreams. You can do anything once you start the process and learn how it adapts in your life. So the key takeaway here when you relapse is every time you start again, you're stronger than before. And each of the stages starts lasting longer. So maintenance will last longer next time. The action stage will last longer. You won't have that relapse sooner. And then once you go through the cycle, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, however long it takes, you will then realize that the relapse gets shorter, each of the other stages gets longer, and then you'll just realize that I didn't relapse. This is a treat day. And you don't feel like it's a problem and you're just going to get back into your habit on the Monday. So, the next time you want to start a new habit or make a change in your life, remember, it's not about jumping straight into action. It's about recognize where you are in the cycle of change and setting the right intention for the right stage. Whether you're just becoming aware of the need to change or you're actively working on new habits, every step forward counts. And if you ever feel stuck or discouraged, remind yourself that change is a cycle, not a straight line. Progress is never about slipping up. It's about choosing to keep going. I hope this serves you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.